What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Titch TV and welcome back to Titch and Geezer's results roundup. Before we get going, Geezer, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, Titch. I'm good, mate. Had a bit of a shave up my ears low this morning. So, yeah, feeling good, man. Feeling good.
Looking 50 again, yeah?
Yeah, I'm 20 years younger, you know
that. Right, so listen, anybody that's tuning in, you know the format of this show. We just go over the round of fixture or results, sorry. And yeah, that's it. We just go over them and see how things are looking in the Premier League. And we'll always go in the order that they was played in, or they're displayed in on my phone. And obviously the first one was a Friday night game. Kieran, one sec. And that was Chelsea coming off the back of a 3-1 defeat to us. 3, Luton Town playing only their second game. Neil, did you watch it? And, what do you think about that game?
Yeah, I did see enough of it, mate. Obviously, I think it's a game Chelsea needed after we smashed them.
Yeah.
I think it's the game they needed, like to put 3 points on the board, was it Pochettino's first win?
Yeah.
And it was perfect for them. Luton put up a battle. Fair play to them. They did give them a go. But, Chelsea were always going to win it and created plenty of chances. Sterling was... And even though we beat Chelsea, Sterling was tearing us apart. And he was doing the same against Luton. He just carried on, ripping the left back apart. I mean, he's got to score, a couple of goals and an assist? I think so. He was just too good for them. And, they were good. I don't think they're anywhere near what they're going to be, Chelsea, anywhere near the best. But I think it was the right side to play in, yeah. Fairly easy game for them, really.
Did you see any signs from Luton in what you saw that, they might be able to stay up this season?
He definitely saw a bit of promise from. Had a bit of promise about them. I don't know. Haven't seen enough of them. I've only played 2 games, and that's against Chelsea. So it's very hard to tell yet. But the goal threat worries you when you see that, and the lights they're bringing on McBurney. I've always thought he was at best championship player. They're bringing him on, trying to help, and he done all right for them. To be fair, he gave them a bit of bullying up front. I just don't think they're. I think they're going to have a hard season. A very hard season. But it's hard to tell at this moment whether they can put a string of wins together, which they're going to have to do.
Yeah. Well, before we move on to the next fixture, obviously Luton's next game is against us, and it will be their first game back at Kenilworth Road. So we'll see. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, are they a different team, at home? Are they going to make that their ground a fortress, which is what's going to
they could lift it. Their first game at home, I presume it will be ready. If it's their first game at home, under the lights, you never know. They could lift for that. And that, we'll have a different test then, because we ain't got a team coming flying at us as we had for the last 2 games with Brighton and Chelsea, and then hit them on the break. I don't think we're getting that from Luton, so we might have to step up our tactics for that, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
A different game.
Moving swiftly on to the next fixture, which was the early kickoff on Saturday. That was Bournemouth 0, Big Ange's Spurs 2.
Big Ange, man. Fuck yeah. Yeah, it's amazing, really. I did watch it. Like I said, it's killing me, this. I don't particularly want Tottenham to do brilliant, but I want Ange to do well. Yeah. And, I'm a big fan. So, and what I see from Tottenham was they're playing good football. They're not brilliant yet. I think Richarlison's an issue.
Yeah.
I don't think he's not going to be the number 9 they need. I can see that already. He might do well from me. He might be a good player to have on the bench and bring on, but They need a centre forward. After losing Kane, they need a centre forward. But they're playing entertaining football already. You've got the Tottenham fans in the stadium singing, "We've got our Tottenham back."
Yeah.
After 3 games.
Mm.
3 games. They think Big Ange is the Messiah. And I think he is as well. So I think they're delighted with him just by not just they've got 7 points, they're unbeaten, but the fact that they're watching good attacking football. So, yeah, and they've done it, fairly comfortably. And it's not an easy place to go, Bournemouth.
It's not.
It's one of them. You don't think much of Bournemouth, but God, the team struggled there to get wins, and they done it reasonably comfortably. And were worthy for the win.
Well, just before we move on, I think it is top 5. I don't think we acknowledged this last week. Top 5 is Champions League this year, isn't it? Because City won the Champions League.
Right. Yeah. Is it?
Sure. I think it is. I'm sure I heard somebody say that.
Okay.
So if that is the case, would you say Spurs are a shoo-in for Champions League football next season?
Shoo-in. I wouldn't say they're shoo-in, because like I said, he's had a really good start, Ange. But I've always said to him, you've got to give him time to get, manufacture that team.
Yeah.
What he wants it. I don't think defensively they're perfect yet, and I think they need a striker. Now, when they get tougher games, and they're tested a bit more, we'll see then. Because Bournemouth didn't really give them a lot of threat up front. There weren't a lot. And when they got teams coming at their defence, we'll see what they're made of. Because they will concede goals. But their Ange Postecoglou's, I think, philosophy is we're going to score more than you.
Yeah.
And we're going to create more chances than you. Mm. And they've got to take them. And I think the weak link there is Richarlison.
Yeah.
Because I think he won't be that striker they need for them to win them games. So I wouldn't say they were shoo-in, but I don't see why they wouldn't be top 6 anyway.
Yeah. Right, sorry, before we move on. Do you think that Richarlison chance kind of epitomised him in a Spurs shirt where did you see when he should have, what are you doing? He
got clumsy with it, didn't he? And he tried to side foot it to the side of the keeper. He got too close to the keeper there, didn't he? And is that the one we're talking about?
I think so. Where he was like, he just overcooked it. He just done too much, and then when it was easier to score, I think, than not.
You can see he's a real sort of miserable looking git at the best of times, isn't he? Yeah. And it looks like his confidence is low. But if anyone's going to build his confidence up, would be Postecoglou.
Yeah.
He's very good at that because he doesn't judge these players. He said, look, you just keep working hard. This is his philosophy. You work hard, it will come good. It will come good. But I just never been a great fan of Richarlison, so I can see it now that I think for Postecoglou to do well and Tottenham to do well, I think they need another striker. Yeah. And like I said, it's we've got a couple of days left to the window finishes, and it wouldn't surprise me if they brought one in.
Okay, right. So Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2, and obviously Forest were 2-0 up in that game.
Yeah, mate. What's that? That was Forest got off to a flyer. Too good a flyer, I think, because I was thinking when they went 2-0 up in the first 5 minutes, I'm going, mate, you've done it too early. Yeah. It's too early, mate. But I was impressed out of 1 year. I know he's big, strong, and he's a real presence in the box now, but I didn't realise how quick he was.
Yeah.
And he picked the ball up from the halfway line. Man, he sprinted away from Rashford. And my God, he's quick for a big fella.
Yeah.
And scored the goal. Then they got another one. But you sort of always thought that Man United would. I actually thought at 2-0 Man United would win it 4-2.
Yeah.
And they won it 3-2. They got there in the end. But still, Man United, again, not looking that impressive. They got the job done. But they're far from, what you'd class as a top 4 team.
Yeah.
They don't look it at the moment. But Man United have always been one of them teams that get points. They get the job done somehow. And they did there, even when they're not at the best. So, they done that there. They got the 3 points, but my God, they made hard work of it.
We obviously just spoke about Spurs, and they are in talks with Brennan Johnson of Forest. He's quick. He scores goals. He's a Welsh international. Could you see him being a better fit than Richarlison with what Postecoglou is trying to do at Spurs?
What, Brennan Johnson?
Brennan Johnson, yeah.
No, I think Tottenham got to aim higher than that. I like the boy. I think he's a good player. Or Winnie as well. Yeah, no, Tottenham got to aim higher. You know what I mean? If they want to achieve what they want to achieve, and that's probably just put a bit of silverware on the board, really.
Yeah.
I don't think theirs is all about challenging for a league yet. They might not happen for years and years. Might never happen. But to put a trophy on the board, which is sort of a bit of a monkey on their back, I just think they need a decent striker now. Kane, I believe Kane in that team against Bournemouth, if that had been, probably would have scored 3 or 4.
Mm.
That could have been 4 or 5-0 with Kane in the team. And I think there's a difference. And I think somehow Tottenham now got to find a striker. Don't have to be a Kane, but I need a 15 to 20 goal a year striker. Now, we know that they're rare. But I think that's what he needs. I don't think a young and up and coming is what they need. I think they need an experienced, proven striker.
Okay, all right. So big game. Sorry, at the wrong end of the table. That was Everton v Wolves, which Wolves ended up winning 1-0, meaning Everton have lost all 3 of their games.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it sounds like an obvious question, but are Everton this season really in trouble?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, they're in trouble. And this is the problem. And this is why I want West Ham to go down it. Well, I want them to go down the route of Steinen to bring in players, right, from around the world, from Europe, wherever it may be. And we buy them for 30, 25, 30 million, 30, and then in 3 years' time, we sell them again.
Yeah.
Right? If they're that good and we've done that well out of it, and they said, and we have the next one lined up. I want to do the Brighton model.
Yeah.
Because you look at Everton, they spent so much money on players over the last 4 or 5 years. They're one of the top spenders in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And all they've done is battle relegation. And now they've run out of money. Now they're having a stadium built. Leicester done the same. Leicester last year didn't have any money to spend, and they got relegated. Southampton run out of time. They sold most of their best players, and now they got relegated. And it looks like it's Everton's time. If they haven't got money to spend to strengthen that team, they're gone. They are woeful.
Yeah.
And again, they could survive by being 3 other teams that are worse than them. But that's the only reason they will. It's not because they're any good. I just don't. Dyche is, he just can't do it. I don't think he can help them. What has to help them is money. But I think it's previous years they spent all that money and they've got nothing to show for it.
Yeah. Because looking at the fixture before it was played, I thought if anyone's going to win that game, it would be Everton at home. And losing at home to Wolves for me was like, it was like
I sort of picked it as a 0-0 draw just before the game. I thought that would be a 0-0 draw, and it was very close to being that.
Yep.
Until they brought the big Austrian on the end, and he's scored. But like I've always said about goalkeepers, win you points in games.
Yeah.
Now, there were 2 moments in that game. Pickford pulled off an absolute brilliant save, point blank save down to his right, great save. And then that Jose Sarr pulled off a miraculous save at the other end. I had to watch it 3 times and work out how he did it.
Yeah.
But what a save that was, and that won them the 3 points. That save, that thing, because neither of them were that great. Everton probably had the better of the game.
Yeah, they did.
Let's say they've lost Calvert-Lewin, and someone else they're missing at the moment. They just look still bang average as Wolves do. Look, bang average. But I think Wolves might do enough to be safe. You just can't see that at the moment with Everton.
The next game was a London derby. That was Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 1. Did you see any of that game? And thoughts on that?
Yeah, I picked that. I watch it when the game starts. I sort of, in my own head, pick a result, and I picked that as a 1-1 draw.
Yeah,
I thought because them, and I didn't know saying that ended up being the fifth draw on the trot for them two teams.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the fifth draw all in a row. Yeah. So it was 1-1. It's about right, I think. Watching the game, from what I remember of it, it's about right. Yeah, Brentford and Palace, they threatened the either end and nicked a goal each. Can't remember the goal, to be honest, but
who would you think is going to finish higher out of these two teams this season?
I think that would be close, them two. I think they're going to be, battling around the same sort of spots.
Yeah.
Around mid-table to a bit below, maybe. Both of them. Between 10 and 15. I expect both of them to be around that. It's hard to pick much between them, to be honest.
That's why I asked. Yeah, that's why I asked that question.
It's not.
Another London derby. And that was Arsenal v Fulham. And that finished 2-2.
A fantastic result, wasn't it, for Fulham? Fantastic result. And we're still above them, so fantastic. It was. They went 1-0. Just fucking remember the goal. They went 1-0 down, didn't they? Oh, Saka. Saka got the assist, didn't he, for the Fulham goal?
I haven't seen that yet. I know.
Saka
basically first minute.
Saka played a through ball to the Fulham forward.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, and and the keeper, Ramsdale, was well out of his line, and he was scrambling. So I think he actually tried to chip him, miskicked it, and it went in past him and went in the corner.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
So they went 1-0 up. Yeah, Saka cocked up there. But there you go.
Well, then he obviously atoned for that mistake by scoring a penalty in the 70th minute.
Yeah, good penalty. We took the penalty well.
2 minutes later, Nketiah, who I looked at the lineup before the game and I was surprised he weren't starting. Anyway, he's obviously come on. He scored. Fulham get a red card. Calvin Bassey, who's signed from Ajax, formerly of Rangers. And then with 10 men away from home. 10 men away from home. Paulinho, who West Ham was obviously linked with, has made it 2-2. What was his goal like?
It was just a corner, mate. A corner thrown over. Everyone jumped for it, missed it, and he got on the end of it.
What, header?
Beyond him, just hit a volley.
Oh.
Hit a volley. It went over everyone's head, and he just snapped on it. I think Rice was tracking him and stopped. The guy just kept moving, and Rice was about 2 yards away from him. And the boys just on the turn hit it into the left corner. Yeah, good finish.
I've just seen here that in the 91st minute, Jesus came on for Declan Rice. So he's obviously he's back. Yeah, and they had 10 plus minutes of stoppage time. So yeah, Jesus is obviously back. Do you think he's they need him back like now? Yeah,
I mean they do. Like I said, I think say all very well, and I said to you last week, about this thing about Arsenal. Rice is one thing, but they need, like most teams, a goal scorer that's going to bang them 20-odd goals a season. Whether that's Jesus or not, I'm not sure. But if I was Arsenal, I'd be bringing in another striker as well as Jesus.
Yeah.
And I think that could be the difference.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to win that many games without one. So, well, they are going to win a lot of games. They're not going to win enough if they're thinking about challenging for titles. I just think they're lacking that. Nketiah is a good boy, but I just don't think anyone there is just, I don't know. I've just got this feeling about Arsenal. You need a top striker. You need something of quality up there. And they haven't. I do remember Jimenez at Fulham in that game. He done an overhead kick. It was the weirdest overhead kick I've ever seen, but it was brilliant. And they missed the top corner by inches. What's an effort that was?
Yeah, I need
amazing.
You know what it was? So basically, I was gonna, because we're gonna get onto. Right, no, we'll get onto the next game, but then we won't speak yet. So Brighton 1, West Ham 3. Right, so
what was that next game?
Yeah. I was going to give you a shout, give Lawrence, Wally, and because I'm thinking, we can just do a live. Anyway, I then had stuff to do quite late at night, so I had to put Match of the Day on for record. Didn't get until like 20 to 2. Started watching it and sort of fell asleep, and then anyway, so that's why I haven't seen some of the games. But yeah, so Kieran, we are finally in the 13th attempt, beaten Brighton in the Premier League. I need to hear your thought. Like I said, I was gonna go live, and then obviously, So come on.
Man, there's so many mixed emotions about that game. The win, delighted, brilliant win, right? Yep. The 3 goals, delighted, loved them.
Yeah.
Watching it, I was absolutely wanted to hang myself because we had. It was a Moyes thing, right? Again, like against Chelsea, but this was even more so, right? We had 2 right backs in Soufal and Bowen. We had 2 left backs in Paqueta and Emerson. We had 2 centre backs with that a new boy Alvarez dropping in like 3 centre backs, and then in front of them we had Souček and Prowse. And you go, fucking hell! It was that. It was right then. Boys basically said to them, right, try and get past this lot. And they couldn't.
Yeah.
And but when we broke, for a change, we broke with purpose and really clinical. And like I say, I struggle to watch it because it's horrible. But when you get that, when you get banging 2 goals, you go, oh well, it's working. Oh man, it's such mixed emotions watching that game. Delighted with the win though, delighted with it, and I really enjoyed the goals. And Antonio was, this works when Antonio's at his best, and he was against Chelsea, and he was against Brighton. He was immense in that game. He really was. James Ward-Prowse seems to be reveling in it. Yeah. He seems to be coming to the party with it. He's better than I gave him credit for, and he's a bit more than just a set piece taker. Yeah,
definitely.
And even though we know he's not the quickest, but he's quicker in full and quicker at making that forward pass as well, and that made a difference. It was the counter attack when it happened. Well, believe you me, it didn't happen that often.
Yeah.
We had 20% of that possession the whole game. I'm sure we're breaking records every week of the least amount of possession.
Yeah.
But when we did, it was purposeful. We threatened them every time we did break. We really did.
Yeah.
And I think we could have easily had 5 or 6 goals.
Yeah.
But they could have had 4 or 5 as well. It could have been one of them if it weren't for Areola being on top form and pulled off about at least 4 really good saves. Danny Ings clearing one off the line near the end.
Yeah.
That was going into the top corner. They had their chances, but we defended them mostly really, really well. I was delighted for Antonio, mate. He's at his best again.
Yeah.
And like I say, when he's at his best, this system works for Moyes. What does my head in a little bit with West Ham supporters especially is, it weren't long ago when it weren't working, is everyone wants to call for his head.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not a Moyes fan anyway, but I was calling for his head long before it weren't working. I don't really like it.
Yeah.
So, but they're calling for his head. You have 2 good games, right, where it has worked. Horrible football has worked. And now they're singing, we've got Super David Moyes from the fucking terraces.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
We give it a rest, boys. If you look, the trouble was going to, I believe, will happen again, is what happened last time. Is sooner or later teams will suss out what we're doing, and they'll work a way out to stop us counter-attacking as we are, and we'll stop scoring them goals week in, week out. We won't be as effective, and then them same people will be calling for his fucking head.
Yeah.
So.
Right, let me.
I think it was these two teams we played were perfect for Moyes' tactics.
Yeah.
Brighton and Chelsea, who come at you non-stop. It was made for Moyes.
Yeah.
I don't believe when we play Luton next week that you can play that way. And I'm hoping he's got the nous to realise that and go, right, we've got to set up a little bit different against them, because they could sit back just as much as us.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do then? So I'm hoping he's got another plan.
Right, so I'm on the same page as you. People that just, they change their opinion like the wind changes. What I will say is this, yeah. I would give David Moyes credit for when Souček, I've never been on Souček's case. I think he sacrificed his own game for Declan Rice last year. Anyway, when Souček was forced off, he brought on Ben Rama. So I was like, okay, normally he would just do light for light or somebody more defensive. He brought on Ben Rama. So I respect that. Yeah. It surprised me, right? Then I planned a watch along for this game. I done the graphics, all that, set up everything, green screen. And then because my friend had come down with his kids, I thought, you know what? They was playing with my son. I thought, you know what? Anyway, so he was in the kitchen, we was watching it. And the ball came to I was saying all along, because he's Ghanaian, my friend. Obviously born here, but Ghanaian. You've seen him right. So I was talking about Kudos. And he was like, nah. He's just another one of them hyped up players. Yeah, because I don't know. He's like, nah, he ain't all that. Anyway. Then Ben Rama came on. I said, this guy. I said, he's so shit. I said, I'm envisioning that, if we do get Kudos, I'll stick him straight on that left wing, instead of him. He goes, no, Ben Rama's, man, he's shit. Kept saying it. I said, obviously, there's no end product. Anyway, as I was saying that, the ball got pinged out to him from Bowen, innit? No, somebody pinged it out to him anyway. He held it up. Who pinged it to him?
No, I think wasn't that Antonio.
That pinged the ball out.
Antonio was back on the. Yeah, he was back on the bloody penalty area and hit the ball up the line to Ben Rama. Yeah.
Then obviously he held it up. He waited. Bowen made a one of those runs that 9 times out of 10 you ain't getting nothing out of that.
No, definitely not.
He did say in the interview afterwards, he said, look, that was pre-season, us just doing those box-to-box run, as part of your pre-season training. He'd done it, and Ben Rama's picked him up fantastically, and then Bowen has still got a lot of work to do. So as I'm saying, he's fucking shit. He's fucking blah blah blah. No end product. He goes and does that. So credit to Ben Rama for that. And credit to Moyes for, like I said, making that change. Now, I will give David Moyes, you just alluded to it, I'll give him more credit. I'm sticking to my guns. Yeah, this football is atrocious. I'm glad I didn't do a watch along, even though we won, because I can't take that watching as a spectacle. But if Moyes goes against teams like Luton, and especially at home, and teams like Bournemouth at home, and teams like Palace at home, and if he now changes it up and brings in the more attacking players and plays a different style of football, then he will change my opinion of him in regards to, I think he should have walked at the end of the season. If he starts, horses for courses, and we see different football against different teams, then, I would say, what, my opinion may well change as to maybe it was, the right thing for him to stay this season, if that happens. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yes, Brighton. Yes, Man City. Yes, Chelsea, the way they're playing this season. Yes, Arsenal. You have to play like that. And even playing like that against these teams, you can still let in 5 goals and your plan goes out the window. Areola made some fantastic saves. So it's very, very dangerous. Now, what you can't do yet is play that sort of football against teams that you should not be doing that against. So time will tell.
No, exactly. And I would change my mind too about keeping him if he can bring himself to switch it up against these smaller clubs who haven't got the firepower that Chelsea have, that Brighton have. Funny enough, it shouldn't be Brighton, but they are. They're bloody dangerous attacking side, you need to do something because, say, it took us bloody 10 years to beat them or 11 years. So I think Moyes got it right with Chelsea and Brighton. I hate watching it, but I loved the result, and it was effective.
Yeah.
When he did Ben Rama, normally he would bring on Fornells because more defensive, but he didn't, and I will give him credit for that. He brought on Ben Rama, and it's the best I've seen Ben Rama, I think, since he's been at West Ham. I mean, he not just shoot that ball. That ball was world class.
Yeah.
Bowen's take, his first 2 touches were world class as well, and finished it.
Yeah.
But the rest of that game, Ben Rama really played well, and he really had a good game, mate. And I was shouting at him and saying, "Man, why can't you be like that every week?" Yeah. Then I wouldn't have this thing about you that frustrates the shit out of me. But he's not. But he was in that game, and he done really well. He gave us an outlet too. You know, he really did give us an outlet to put the ball to, not just Antonio.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Right. Before we move on, I'm going to say 2 things. First one was either in the first half at the end or the end of the game, the Sky Sports stats have said this is the least amount of touches James Ward-Prowse has ever had in any game in the Premier League. So welcome to West Ham, Mr. JW.
Yeah.
And I need to say a massive shout out, right? We've both been on the same page, and I don't think as many people have been as us. Much respect for Angelo Ogbonna, right? People writ him off when he got that injury. That injury possibly cost us the top 4, alongside Rice and Antonio being injured at the same time. Now, we had silly people talking about, no Ogbonna, no problem, all of this stuff. And I took that really disrespectful because I know what he brings to this club, what he brings to the team. The fact that he came in for Aguerd instead of Kerr or Alvarez Campbell at centre-back, the fact that he is still doing it in the Premier League against Brighton as well, because even I looked at it, oh shit. So I have always had massive respect for Ogbonna, and I'm so happy to see that he is still a West Ham player and he is still actually doing his bit for West Ham United. So yeah, I'm so happy that Ogbonna is still. And
he was good, man. He was good. He was really good, and he can still do it. And he is he's an ultimate professional. Yes. Simple as that. And I rate him. Yeah. We know if you start playing high lines, that might not be his game.
Yeah.
But you want to stick, 2 big centre halves there, mate, and defend. He'll do the job for you. Simple as that.
Love Ogbonna, seriously. Right. So moving on to Sheffield United 1, Man City 2. And I'm just checking. Sheffield United have played. Yeah, so Sheffield United have lost all their games. Man City have obviously won all their games.
Yeah.
It weren't as easy as some might have thought it would have been, though, was it?
Yeah, it was a bit like West Ham Brighton. It was attack versus defence.
Yeah.
And we're going to see more and more of these games in this Premier League now, aren't we? With the difference between, the top sort of 5 and 6. With the, maybe the bottom 6 or 7. We're going to see a lot of these games. And, it was that. Again, I don't think Haaland's at his best at the moment. No. He missed the penalty, hit the inside of the post, didn't go in. Had a couple of other chances, didn't score. But he got the goal in the end.
Yeah.
And, but then, this is not Man City. I won't say Man City in general. But I say certain players can be arrogant.
Yeah.
And Carl Walker, the arrogance of what he tried to do there on his own byline by backheeling it to a player out on the wing was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it cost him a goal and nearly cost him 2 points.
Yep.
Right? It really did. That was just arrogant and stupid. And lucky enough, Pep Guardiola weren't on the sideline, was he? It was convalescence. I don't know what he's had done, but he was convalescent.
Back surgery.
Back surgery? Okay.
Yeah. So
he weren't on the bench because I can imagine what he would have done. He would have been out down that sideline screaming, and because it was ridiculous. I played right back and left back all my life, and I'd never even dream about doing something stupid.
Yeah.
You kick it away, you give a corner away, you do whatever. You just don't backheel it into play. It was stupid. So anyway, it cost them a goal. And like I said, that could cost you 2 points. Lucky enough, they rallied for Man City, and they scored a good finish by, was it Rodri?
Rodri, left-footed outside of the boot.
Absolute banger.
Yeah,
Top corner. No stopping that, boy. But yeah, they made it hard for themselves, I think, City. But they're like that a bit, aren't they, at the beginning of the season, City? They're a little bit of a slow burner.
Yeah.
And they still got 9 points, though. You know?
Exactly.
Pretty good.
What? 2 things. I think Kyle Walker, if you probably, in case you didn't notice, when he tried the back heel and all that, he ended up off the pitch. If he would have just got up and stopped sulking and that, he would have. If he would have just sprinted out, they would have been offside. They had a player offside when thingy, I can't remember his name. Anyway,
I thought he was going to be given offside, to be honest.
No, because he's off the pitch. They class him as.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Bogle, yeah.
He didn't touch the ball, but he looked like he was interfering with the play, didn't he? Because he was in front of the keeper.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, I didn't think about him being off the pitch, though. Yeah.
I don't know if he stayed there thinking, I don't count, but then you're a professional. He should have just got up and got in line with his back line. And
that makes it even worse, Titch.
There's 2 terrible mistakes, that he's made. Trying to do the back heel and then just sitting there. Get up, man. You understand? But to his credit, he played a massive, massive part in City.
He did. Yeah, well, he woke up then, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because he knew Pep Guardiola's watching that somewhere in a hospital bed, going, "Jesus Christ, I'm getting it now."
Yeah,
I'm getting it now. But lucky enough, he did.
And I think that comes with age and experience. That he can quickly move on. I think a younger player, their heads, they don't get that. If they're playing in that position and they do what he done, they can't recover as quickly as he done. So
that could be true.
Yeah. Anyway, City, looking good in regards to points and grinding out results as always. Penultimate game was Claret and Blues. It was Burnley at home 1, second game for them. Aston Villa 3.
Yeah, fairly comfortable for Villa.
Yeah.
What my member of it? Really comfortable. Burnley look like a championship team.
Yeah.
And I think that means that all 3 bottom clubs, all 3 promoted clubs haven't got a point.
Yeah, that's right. And Luton and Burnley have only played 2, but none of them have got a point yet.
None of them got points, and neither have Everton. And I think that there's an indictment about these promoted clubs. They still look like championship sides to me.
Mm.
And that Burnley, they didn't look that flash to me. Villa were fairly comfortable, and I think they will be, because I think Villa, will be in the top 10.
Yeah,
this season.
Yeah.
I think it could have been more.
I was going to say, before we move on, because we don't always have to go in depth, but did you expect more from Burnley, having seen what they've done last year in the Premiership? In regards,
not really.
No,
I think a lot of people don't realise the big step up there is from the Championship to the Premier League.
Yeah,
it's huge. It's huge, massive. And I say, it's all very well buying these Championship players, but the step up is gigantic.
Yeah,
and it is a massive difference. And if you can get a Championship player to work for you in your team, like we have with Bowen, that's a great achievement. And to get a whole team coming up from the Championship, to keep that same team that's done so well in the Championship doesn't guarantee them nothing in the Premiership.
Yeah,
absolutely nothing. Now Burnley might turn it round, like Company might get it going, and they might get some good results. But I expect him to battle in relegation all year. That's what I expect. So we shall see with it.
The final game was the best game, I believe, of the weekend, and it was fitting that it was the last game.
Oh, forgot about that one.
Newcastle 1, Liverpool 2. Yeah, I want to know there, your take from that game.
I got out of bed here It was on late Sunday, wasn't it? So I went to bed. I just got up in the morning, left the phone alone, and watched it for wow. Yeah. But so many incidents in it, Titch. There were so many incidents that you could talk about. We could spend the next half hour talking about this game.
Mm.
And the first one was the Alexander Arnold thing, where he got booked for he got pushed over the sideline. They didn't give a free kick.
Yeah.
He threw the ball, and they booked him for that.
Yeah.
And a minute later, the boy Gordon has flew past him, and he's put his arm out and banged him, which is a yellow card all day long.
Yeah.
And he didn't get a yellow.
Yeah.
The referee bottled it, right? But I've got sympathy for Alexander Arnold in this case, because when that ball did go out for the throw in the initial booking he got, he was fouled. He was shoved off across the line. It was a foul. The referee missed that foul and booked Arnold for throwing the ball. So I've got sympathy why, but it doesn't really matter. He's on a yellow now, and a minute later he should have got a second yellow and he should have been sent off.
Mm.
That's it, but the referee bottled it. And that was the first big one. And then Van Dijk gets sent off, a little bit later. Yeah. Great through ball. The boy was and as soon as I saw it, I went, he's gone. I don't know what he was complaining about. Mm. And when you see the slow motion, you see him take his leg away, then the ball.
Yeah.
Definitely. He was through on goal. No doubt sending off. There was no doubt about it.
So obviously at that point it was 1-0 to Newcastle. Newcastle's on top, and now Liverpool's down to 10 men. I couldn't see anything other than Newcastle scoring at least one more, potentially two more.
Oh, they were unlucky not to score that one more. They hit the post. Almiron done a great run, ripped them apart.
Yeah.
Curled one in, hit the bottom of the post, and came out. After that booking of Alexander Arnold, what I would say is that Gordon just tore him, rinsed him.
Yeah.
All the game. Yeah. I've always said that about Arnold, the worst right back I've ever seen, the best right winger or right midfielder I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's not a right back, mate.
No.
And he got rinsed time after time after time. And how they didn't score, I don't know. I even see Joe Linton went down there and took it round him. Yeah. Okay, Jesus Christ. He got torn apart. And they were unlucky not to get the second. They should have got one. Yeah. They didn't. Couple of good. And the save, one of the saves of the season.
From Almiron's chest and volley.
The volley from Almiron, what a save that was.
Mm.
And it was this was a weekend of great goalkeeping. It really was. In a lot of games, from our game to the Wolves and Everton game to this save here was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that would have been the goal that sealed it.
Yeah.
And again, what my point is that goalkeepers can win you games and get you points. And that won Liverpool the game, that save, because that was in.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got there. It came at him so quick to react to that. Hit off the bar, off the post, and he clawed it away.
Yeah.
Brilliant save. And, and I believe it all changed. And I blame Eddie Howe for this. His substitutions. Well, I blame Eddie Howe to a point, and blame the fact his depth in the squad and Liverpool's depth in the squad are two different things.
Yeah.
He took off Gordon, who was rinsing Alexander Arnold. Now, I don't know if it's fatigue or what, I don't know. He took Joel Linton off, and he took that
Isak.
What would be the Italian boy?
Oh, Tonali. Is that who he took off?
Tonali, that's him. And them boys were running the game. No. They were running the midfield. They were overrunning Liverpool.
So what he done, Kieran, the first three subs was Isak, Gordon and Tonali off. And then Joe Linton came off later on. But those were the first three he took off. Now
they were the first three, and that changed the game. Liverpool got in it, and they're on 10 men. But their substitutions well, I mean, it was Nunes and Jota, and I think it was it Elliot?
Elliot and
Elliot.
And Quanso's the centre back came on with Nunes, but yeah, those
Yeah, well, Elliot, Nunes, and Jota, they changed the game for Liverpool,
yeah.
and that was the difference. And all of a sudden, Liverpool were in the game, and two great chances for Nunes, and banged them both, man, banged them both. Yeah, and it was a steal. It was a smash and grab.
Yeah.
They should never have won it. They did.
Great finishes by Nunes, and
Yeah.
see me, I always root for the underdog. And I'm not on social media, but I know everybody says, "Oh, he's a floppy," from different fan bases and all of that. So, yeah,
Really?
They don't. Yeah, he gets a lot of disrespect, and I'm happy for the underdog and both quality finishes, and even his movement, especially for the second goal, his movement to be ready for Salah's assist, and the way he peeled off the
Great pass from Salah too, wasn't it? Great ball. Right in his path.
One thing that stood out to me is a player that I said I'd love him at West Ham was Harvey Barnes. At 0-0, at 1-0, all you had to do was lay it across to Callum Wilson, who would have got a relatively easy finish, I believe.
It was. It's happening.
You fucked it up.
I'll say Harvey Barnes come on for Gordon, and he was shit.
Yeah.
He was shit, Barnes, right? Yeah. And like you said, he had that one opportunity to square it across, and Callum Wilson never misses that. He never misses that. Yeah, it's done. Job done, and he didn't.
And
you go
on because between the two centre backs and the goalkeeper, there was probably 8 to 10 yards. So if he puts it in the middle of them, Callum Wilson literally just gets a tap in, and he messed that up. And at this level, that's what you're looking for, those players to make the right execution, and he didn't, and it cost them.
And that's what I'm saying with Newcastle. They brought on Barnes, which is fair enough. It's a big new signing, and they think he might do the same as Gordon. He didn't, but they had Target and who's the other boy?
Yeah, Target and Anderson came on for Joe Linton and Sven Botman.
No, who?
Anderson came on for Joe Linton, and Target came on for Botman.
But and then Longstaff
came on for Tonali, in the first wave.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Target Longstaff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The difference between Nunes, Jota. There's the difference between having that squad. Longstaff, he's rubbish, mate. He's not a Premier League player. He's not good enough.
Yeah, I don't know why he took off Tonali. I don't know if he's trying to get too smart and let's.
See, I can imagine maybe Joel Linton. I'll tell you what, the work he puts in that one. It could have been fatigue with him.
Yeah,
they might have took him off because he was absolutely shattered. I don't know, but because he worked so hard, man. That boy, what a player he is.
Yeah,
what a player.
He done a great. I think it was his pass to Barnes, maybe for that attack. Was he still on then? Yeah, he was. I think he hit it with the outside of the boot on the counter attack, put Barnes through. But he done one of his through balls was phenomenal. Yeah, so it was definitely Joel Linton.
There you go. But I think Newcastle, their fans would have been just gutted because it had a win written all over it for them.
Yeah.
And they dominated most of that game until I believe that all them substitutions happened. Then it all changed.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. This will be, everybody knows, this is a regular thing. And this is something that I enjoy doing, sitting down with Giza and just recapping on these games. And we will reintroduce the prediction show real soon. But as always, Giza, I need to thank you for your input, your contribution, your knowledge, your analysis. And any final words before we end this particular show?
No, mate, it's starting to shape up. There's some good games in that. I really did think it was a weekend of goalkeeping brilliance.
Yeah.
They don't get a lot of credit, do they, goalkeepers? And I don't think it's highlighted enough what goalkeepers do in certain games.
Yeah.
But there were games today, like Alisson, the Liverpool keeper, he won them 3 points with that save. Yeah. Because I know they got 2 goals later, but without that save, they've lost.
Yeah.
And we saw it with the Wolves keeper as well. He done the same. He pulled off a save he should never have made. And we've seen it at West Ham with Areola. He pulled off 3 or 4, which could have been a different story without them saves. So, yeah, well done to the goalkeepers this week. I think they showed well.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in, especially if you made it all the way to the end of the video. And we will see you again next week. Ciao.
See you later, sir.